About big-time snow games here in New England. The hype is real for this one, Cerrone. This is a big-time football game. Good morning, man.
Good morning, man. I thought about that about 10 minutes ago. I'm like, wait a minute, this might be the most important show we've probably ever done, like you said, outside of the draft or anything like that. But this is pretty, it's a big deal. And the football gods blessed us with a snow game between the Patriots and Bills and in Foxborough. And it reminds us of the good old days. So this should be pretty fun. This should be a pretty fun afternoon. Regardless of the outcome, it's a good day for football fans in this region.
And it really, there's been a lot of talk this year about the Patriots being back. And that's kind of just a general hyperbolic term. There's really no, obviously they're back when they win the Super Bowl more concretely, right? But, I've been kind of hyping this up all week. I've heard some other people talk about it, probably me more than others, but this is the biggest Patriots game since what?
Titans playoff game.
So I'm with you. I know some people point to, they played a playoff game in 2021. We kind of knew what that team and that game was at that point. I guess in theory there were bigger stakes for that one, but we knew, especially with the injuries. Remember they had that whole run of COVID going into that game, that one could end up being more non-competitive. This one's real, though. I went back and looked, actually. I went back to 2020 and looked at the biggest games they've played. They played the Chiefs. That COVID season was supposed to be a big game. Cam Newton gets COVID. The Brady game was a big game from an emotional standpoint, but it was also a Week 4 non-conference game. Right, they played a Week 4 non-conference game this year against the Carolina Panthers. So it was an emotional night. There's great energy in the building, but it didn't have the stakes you want from a big football game. The Bills a couple times late that year. Those were legitimately big games, but not as big as this. The Monday night game against the Bears in 22, the Silver Pants game, that felt like a big game going in, did not go well for the Patriots. The opener against the Eagles in 23 felt like a big game. Drake May's first start last year, but this is on another level, because if the Patriots win this, they get their first division title back. They clinch a playoff spot with 3 weeks to go. For however much you want to value it, this is an MVP statement game for Drake May. This is a big one. Simply put, this is a big one. It's not in prime time. It probably should be. This is as big of a football game as we've had around here in maybe more than half a decade.
Yeah, and it is. And you mentioned the playoff game with Mac Jones. The Patriots are on the other side of that. They're the better team as opposed to being the team on the, just, I would say, happy to be there. The expectations have changed. And I think the expectations with this team are changing by the week. It's the season started out. Hey, could they at least make a playoff? Can they sneak in? Could they win 7-8 games and see what happens? Or can they win the division? And now we're looking at this team. Can they win the AFC? Can they get to a Super Bowl? The expectations are drastically different for any Patriots team. The Patriot team that lost to the Titans, there were doubts going into that playoff if they can make it to the AFC Championship game. Even though they had a good record, we knew they were a flawed team. We knew that going into it. This team, I think the expectations might be a little different. For one, the landscape around the team has changed drastically with, I call them the four horsemen. With Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, I put in there. They're not what they were like just last year or year before, and it seems wide open in the AFC. So I think the expectations play into how big this game is. You can win it, like you said, win a division. It puts you a step closer to possibly getting the bye, having the best record in the AFC, and locking up postseason awards. I know right now the only award everybody wants is the Super Bowl, but Coach of the Year, MVP, all that stuff. All that's on the line the next few weeks, and I think this kicks it all off. It's a great time to me to be a Patriots fan, and if they win this today, it's going to be wild around here. And nationally, it's going to get a little wild too, because it's still doubting this team, but I think beating the Bills twice, says a lot about this, would say a lot about this team and completely change their expectations nationally going forward.
The juice is real. Again, lighten up on social media. We got the phone lines filling up. 617-779-0985. We'll get to you in a second. But Cerrone, to that point, let me ask you this. So I'm with you. I think on paper, the Patriots are a better team coming into this game when you look at where things currently stand, injuries, and all that. I think they have a decisive advantage in the coaching category when it comes to Mike Vrabel versus Sean McDermott. So I think the Patriots are the better team. It's obviously a big game for both teams. You look at it from the Bills side, they're probably going to make the playoffs at this point with that win last week. They, going into that, it was if they lost that game, this might be them fighting for their playoff lives. They're in better shape there, but looking at standings, trying to stay alive in the division, all that. Who is this a bigger game for, the Patriots or the Bills?
I believe it's the Bills for what you just mentioned. They're fighting for position in the playoffs. They're fighting to get a game in Buffalo. They're fighting trying to hold on for the division. And I think most importantly, they're fighting for their reputation, man. It's Bills, the organization, not again. We've had our opportunities. They didn't lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. But losing at Kansas City that many times in a row is almost equivalent. And now you look up and Pat Mahomes might not be there. No Kansas City. Probably won't be a Baltimore on your way. You're thinking, man, this is our chance. It's our path. And then the Patriots go popping up right and getting in your way. So I think they're fighting for their reputation. They're fighting for, if they want to fight for their head coach, they're fighting for his job. There's a lot of things that's on the line for the Bills. You lose to the Patriots, and if you lose ugly, everybody's looking down at their sidelines, looking at their coach. They're looking at the roster. This could spark a complete change of how the Bills operate going forward. They could start flipping that roster, saying, you know what? We hired our window. It's not it. We know we got our Hall of Fame level quarterback, but everybody else, man, we might have to make some changes. So the Bills are fighting for a lot right now. Where's the Patriots? If they lose this game, they still have other opportunities to clinch the division and possibly even get a bye with with Denver's remaining schedule being a little difficult. So I think for the Bills, they're gonna come in here fighting because they have no other choice. They're up against it in many ways, and they gotta win this game. I think imagine the Bills taking a step back with them going into a new stadium next year. It's a lot of little dynamics going into it. So I think they're fighting for their lives right now going into this game.
All right, let's go to your phones early here. Mark in Medford on today's game. Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
So, regardless of the weather today, I predict this being a wild game. I'm seeing Josh Allen touchdowns. I'm seeing Drake May touchdowns. I'm seeing over 49.5 and either team winning by like a last-second field goal. That's how I look at this game today.
All right, thanks for the call, Mark. It's divisional football. It's going to be a little weird.
Yeah.
That's buckle up. That's how these divisional games always go. Get ready for that. Let's go to Dee in North Carolina on Drake May. Dee, good morning.
What's going on, boys? Hey, I saw a highlight video or a hype-up video last night for this game, and it was the first time that I felt like, for real, like the Tom era is over. It almost gave me that feeling of when you break up with a girl and then time goes by, you meet a new girl, and you're like, damn, I really have moved on. Do you guys feel the same way? I don't know. This team, it's just like, because it was so unexpected, it's like delayed gratification. But when I saw that video, I was like, wow, it really is a new chapter. And like, finally, we're back. Like, we have moved on. Do you guys feel that same way?
Thanks for the call, Dee. I don't think like it's the Brady era is really over. I think I've been at peace with that for a little bit. Mm-hmm. There is an element of like, this feels real. Somebody sent me one last night, or my buddy sent me a couple of these like hype videos. We used to get these all the time before these games, and it hasn't been a thing. And not that is the barometer of it, but like there is something that feels a little different, even when they made the playoffs with that Mac Jones team. I talked about this before. It didn't quite feel like this. This feels more complete. This feels more sustainable. I don't think it's ever going to feel quite like the Brady era again, but like we've talked about this whole first segment, this is a legitimate big time, big football game, national stage, the hype. I was joking with somebody the other day. So we started doing the show in 2023, right? Mm-hmm. So the 2 prior years we've done it, they won 4 games each year. And, the first game of the year, maybe it would be, because sometimes people ask me, like, is it a pain to get down to Gillette from the station in the middle of, like, game traffic, right? I'm leaving here at 10 o'clock. And the answer is no, because I love my job. And, poor Alex has to drive from doing a radio show to covering a football game. Boo-hoo. But late in the year, I'd kind of just cruise in and never really thought of it. And then whatever was the last home game or 2 home games ago, I'm driving down there and I'm like, why is it taking me so long? Like there's all this traffic. And it's like it just, the culture of the fanhood around the team feels different. It feels like it did back then. And that's what's so exciting to me on top of just watching the good football.
Yeah. Fans, they just want the team to be competitive, man. We want the team. I can only just speak for Patriots fans. They want the team to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like you said, it takes you longer to get in because there's more people grilling and cooking along Route 1 than it was the last 2 years who are willing to do it on a freezing cold, snowing day. Last couple of years, it was like, I'll just go for the game, get in, get out. I almost know the outcome of this one. Now it's more of a vibe. It's a feel in the area. And I think people are enjoying it again. They're enjoying their team being talked about on the national shows. They enjoy now buying their jerseys, wearing them with pride. We joke all the time. It's like, you saw people take their bumper stickers off their cars when the team was winning 4 games. People didn't wear their jerseys in the grocery store what they used to. Now it's everywhere. You see it everywhere again. And that's, people love that. They love having their team, being at the top. And they win this today, it's going to get even crazier. It's going to get wild again. But to the caller's point, I think he's right. This is the first time where it's like no one's even thinking about Tom Brady. No one's doing any. I mean, you're comparing the good run that the kid is on to Tom Brady's.
Right.
But if they win a Super Bowl, it will be the legit. We've moved on. The era's gone. All the players are gone. Everything about that. I mean, McDaniel's still around, but other than that, you moved on to a different chapter. I think a Super Bowl would really cap all that off and show the start of something new. And you completely moved on from Tom Brady's greatness. But yeah, they're on the right track, and this quarterback's on the right track, and can't wait to see where it ends up.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like there's an element, and maybe this is a Bill Belichick thing. Like in 2021, it was trying to recapture and hang on, right? And,
yeah.
I think it was all about, hey, we dodged the lean years. We dodged the real rebuild. Yeah, okay, 7-9 in the COVID year with Cam Newton. That was a transition season, but like we didn't have that down here. Kind of trying to do what the Packers did, going from Favre to Rodgers to now Jordan Love. And okay, so they didn't do that. So there were a couple lean years in there. They didn't get back to the top with Belichick. I know a lot of people wanted to see that. It would have been cool to see. Like for me personally, I think it would have been great. But now it's like, all right, we went through the lean years and we came out the other side and look at this and look at where we are. And I think that's a big part of it. And we'll see if they can put the cap on that today. I will say this to go back to who has more at stake in this game. And I'm with you. It is the Bills, or not who has more at stake, because obviously for the Patriots, the division, but like who's this a bigger game for? It's the Bills. You want to wrap this thing up if you're the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think that you don't want to let them linger. You don't want to let them hang around. Drake May said it this week. You want to take it from them. You want to take the division title from the Bills. You don't want to back into the playoffs. I do think that's significant, and you're going to get 3 weeks now to kind of, and the 1 seed will still be out there. I'm not saying they can totally, shut it down, but rest guys up, kind of get your ducks in a row, things like that. And you get to be in the hype of all of it. Of having clinched the division with this time to go, the AFC East champion Patriots and things like that. And when you talk about the national perspective, when you talk about the MVP race, things like that, that's a part of it. So, again, big game. You want to join us to talk about it, 617-779-0985. We'll get right back to your calls next here on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
Stay tuned for more Sunday Kickoff on the Sports Hub. Hey, if you notice sticky doors and windows, cracks in brick, drywall, or your foundation, that's a sign of
they can still win the division if they lose this game. You know, the Jets and Dolphins coming up, and the Dolphins will have to come up here. I know they've been hot, but they'll have to come up here. But what would it mean for the Patriots to take this division from the Bills, beat them head-to-head, clinch it today with 3 weeks to go? How important is it in your mind they get this done today instead of letting it wait?
Oh, it's important. I think it's important for them, for their own confidence. It's kind of like a reward for their hard work. It definitely checks the box. I'm pretty sure they had up on the wall to win the division.
Yep.
I think it's just important for all of them. It's important for Drake May's growth, for them believing in themselves. And I think it'd be a huge, not saying they're not confident now, but winning the division, taking it from the Bills, like you said, I think it's a big deal. It's a big deal for the coaching staff. Ownership, it's a big deal. You know, being back on top. I know Kraft and them are up there. They're praying. They were praying for this day to get back to this after what they've been through the last few years. You know, and I think it's just a really big deal for the entire organization. And I think it'd be a real proud moment for the players. And, you know, I know there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't say anything, affect anything right this minute, but it makes you attractive. It makes you legit. It's a stamp that this team is legit, and stuff like that carries when you get into free agency and all that other stuff as time goes on. But it puts you up there as a legit team. It solidifies you as one of the best. And when you do it, it's not like you're doing it in a division where you don't have any competition, where you're just, you know, moonwalking over everybody. You're in a poor division, whatever. Man, you beating the Bills, beating Josh Allen, and reigning MVP. You know, he's still putting up crazy numbers and all that stuff. To do it over them and that quarterback, I think is a big deal, and it solidifies his team and gives them a kind of a national stamp of approval that the Patriots are legit and here to stay.
Let's go back to the phones here before we got Mark Daniels from Ask Live joining us at the bottom of the hour to break down this matchup some more. Let's go to Mark in Norwood. Mark.
Hey, good show, guys. So I get in the car this morning to go to the game, and, of course, I got a dead battery. So I just hope that the Pats get a faster start than I did out of the game. But on the way now. So is it possible that it's hard to believe that they're this good this fast? You know, we're kind of spoiled around here. 5 years. Some teams never recover from losing their franchise guy. And if Drake May is actually the next guy, I mean, how incredibly lucky are we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thought I had was at the beginning of the year, we lamented the lack of quality and depth in the wide receiver position. Would you trade the Patriots wide receivers for the Bills? Right now, I wouldn't.
Oh, absolutely not. And thanks for the call, Mark.
Yeah, that's the key to the game right there.
The Bills wide receiver room is a mess. I think I said that. I might have said that back in March at one point. The Bills room was really falling apart. And if you look at some of the narrative in Buffalo this season, you know who they're really upset about losing? Stephon Diggs. It's kind of the key
Matt
to
Collins
that.
in there too.
Yeah, Matt Collins, and he had a good game last time against Buffalo. He's somebody to watch. They know the Patriots are in much better position wide receiver wise than the Bills are. Even if you want to factor in Dalton Kincaid, right? Is he at this point in his career maybe have the slight edge over Hunter Henry? Sure, but it's close enough to me that I'll take the Bills have James Cook. That's their best offensive skill position player, not including quarterback.
Yeah.
After that, if we were to draft the skill position players, and feel free to push back, I'd probably say James Cook is one. How many Patriots are you taking after that? It's multiple, in my mind.
Yeah, I think I think that's a key to the game. Is there a lack of talent on the outside in these elements? I know what they did. Oh, look, they put big numbers up against Cincinnati. That was Cincinnati, and I think they scored at least one defensive touchdown. But I know they forced multiple turnovers, had short fields, and all that stuff. But that was Cincinnati's defense. I don't know how many guys on this Bills roster or who have played for the Bills outside of Stephon Diggs in the last 10 years that can shake Gonzalez, over and over again in these type of conditions. And you remember they had a stretch where they benched Coleman, one of their high draft picks from a couple of years ago. So, I mean, that's a key to this game, and I think it's a reason why Josh Allen, as good as he is, they're 26th in pass attempts. They're not throwing. I mean, they're a great running team, but there's a reason they're not throwing it a ton.
He has nobody to
because
throw
they don't
to.
trust the guys on the outside. Right.
Haley, let's see if his wife posts anything about Josh can't throw and catch the ball. That's kind of where he's at right now. How about the other side of the ball? Randy in Providence has a thought on the Bills' defense. Randy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Alex. How are you guys today?
Good.
I listened to your show with Brian. I think it was yesterday you put it out, maybe the day before. And I know you referenced a couple times the Bills' pass defense not being up to par. And I'm curious if you think that's a game script thing, because they are second in pass yards allowed per game, fifth in opponent passing percentage, and but third in least pass attempts per game. And I think they're much more gettable on the ground. They're 29th in opponent rushing yards per attempt, 28th in opponent rushing yards per game. Kind of what worries me about this is the Buffalo has a top 10 red zone offense. We have the last red zone defense in the game, in the league rather. And the Buffalo fourth quarter scoring, like the past three games, I think they've come back from halftime deficits. So I think we've got to really be careful, our defense does, to, not let them do that. The last three games, they've 11 points per game in the fourth quarter. And then last game, they put up 21 with Cincinnati there. So I think that the defense has got to be careful there. Real quick, too, also, I just want to give a shout-out to the folks working the stadium there today. It's cold. They're getting up early. It's a long day. They definitely deserve a shout-out.
Good call, Randy. It's somebody who did that in high school. I was one of the vendors going up and down selling stuff. It's I
did security there, man. Team ups.
it's a long day, a day like this. To his point, so the end of game stuff is a good point. Mike Vrabel, I think that was one of the first things he mentioned this week. You can't take your foot off the gas against this team. The pass defense thing that I talked about this week, the Bills do have good overall pass numbers. Mm-hmm. Some of that is their rush. What I was talking about specifically, at least I think so on the show that he mentioned, their secondary has been tested this year. Mm-hmm. And especially as of late, it's banged up. Christian Benford, who's been their top corner, suffered an injury during practice this week. He was limited on Thursday, did not practice on Friday. He's questionable for this game. If they don't have Benford, you're looking at a lot of rookies and guys that you really don't want in starting roles out there. So the numbers hold up for the Bills' pass defense. I just think they're more gettable in this game than they've maybe been at other times. But also, to his point, he's right, the run defense is where they're soft. The run defense, they've missed Ed Oliver all year. That's really where you can get them.
And I think that plays into why the pass defense looks so good. Statistically,
right.
They're not throwing on them a lot because you can run all over them. So when your game plan, your strategy is to run the ball against them, that means the secondary is not being tested because they're just running the ball. And you're getting a lot of situations to where, the Bills take advantage when they get big leads with their offense, and you're stuck with no other choice but to throw the ball, and then they capitalize. But when the games are close, you look at the games they've lost this year, I think they've given up 200 yards. I think I looked it up yesterday. I think they've given up 200 yards or more on the ground like 4 times this year. One game was at like 198 or something like that. But teams are run all over them. So, but it's like, hey, we only gave up, 200 in the air. It's like, yeah, but you gave up 220 on the ground.
Right.
But it's, I think a part of the reason they passed, to the call's point, statistically, yes, the yards allowed and all that stuff is there. But the last thing he said, pass attempts, they're not throwing on them a lot because they're eating them up on the ground. But I think if you did throw against this team 40 times out the gate, you can get to them, especially like you said, with a lot of young guys in the secondary, with a quarterback who likes to throw it downfield and a receiver in Stephon Diggs who wants nothing more but to eat that secondary up.
3 times they've allowed over 200 yards this year, plus 197 to the Dolphins and 189 to the Saints. So you can run on them. And again, to the point, they had a better unit earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. I don't think their pass defense right now, especially if they don't have Benford today, is what it wasn't this year. They got a live look in at Gillette right now on SportsCenter on ESPN. Does not look like the snow is sticking to the turf just yet, but it is in the seats, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting to monitor what the conditions are like. We'll get to that, plus more on this matchup next with Mark Daniels of Mass Live. He'll join us after this on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
More Sunday Kickoff is on the way on the Sports Hub.
Started the show. In your mind, this is the biggest Patriots game since when?
So I was debating this with Andrew Callahan. He said 2021 when the Pats had a chance to win the division against the Bills. And obviously, the Pats lost that game. My argument was the last time they were in the Super Bowl. And this might be recency bias, like 2 4-win seasons, not a lot of big games. I mean, honestly, other than the 2021 season, there haven't been really any big games. So it's either 2021, chance to beat the Bills for the division, or the Bills in the playoffs. But I think that year, like, we all knew, right, the Pats weren't better than the Bills.
Right.
It's like, for me, I have more excitement for this game probably since I saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Rams during the end of the 2018 season. You know, because, like, this time, unlike 21, the Pats are in my eyes, a good team. They have a chance. You know, they've already beaten the Bills, you know, and it wasn't like 21. They beat the Bills in a win game. That was a fluke. There were gale force wins that day, guys, you know. So, like, for me, my argument is the Super Bowl. I think this is huge. I mean, a win today, it puts Drake May at the front for the MVP conversation. It makes, you know, Pats division winners for the first time since Brady left, and it makes them, you know, one of the best teams in the NFL. So I think today's huge.
But this game today, if you make your prediction now, not for the game, say the Patriots win this game, who's the MVP today? Who's the one guy that stands out and has a big day against this Bills defense?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's going to be someone like Christian Barmore. The Bills come into this game ranked number 1 in the NFL in rushing offense. I mean, they're averaging 157 yards per game, over 5 yards per carry. And on top of that, they're leading the NFL in average time of possession. So to beat the Bills, you have to stop the run, and you want to control the clock. So for me, you know, with no Milton Williams, you want to see Christian Barmore dominate up front. It has to be someone on the defensive line, right? Barmore's a really good player, and his sack numbers aren't up there, but they need a guy like that to absolutely dominate, you know, if they're going to have a chance. So I think that's probably not a name many people are saying, because, I mean, obviously, if the Pats beat the Bills, we'll all be talking about Drake May, but, man, they need to stop the run today.
No, Mark, it's a great point. I think lost in the breakout game for Drake May in Week 5 was just how good Milton Williams was in that game. He was a major factor in that game, and obviously not having him is going to hurt. The other thing that stood out to me going back and watching that game coming into this, a lot's been made since Christian Gonzalez returned from that injury. The Patriots have generally played this kind of softer off coverage, that bend don't break thing. Felt like the one game where they kind of got aggressive in man like we thought they were going to be this year was against the Bills in Week 5. Maybe that's, you know, adjusting for Allen. Maybe that's due to their receiver talent, a little bit of both. How do you see the Patriots covering the Bills, and how do you see them covering Dalton Kincaid? He's kind of the one guy that had success in the pass game against the Patriots in that Week 5 matchup.
Yeah, you know, we haven't really seen the Pats match up a cornerback on a tight end, and I wonder if a game like this, they'd entertain that. Yeah. But considering we haven't seen it, I don't know if they're going to break it out and, like, you know, this late into the season. Someone who interests me is like Marte Mapu. Was it against the Giants? He played 4 defensive snaps and had 2 pass breakups. You know, Mapu's sort of a tweener between a linebacker and safety. He might be a guy who plays a little bit more. Can he cover Dalton Kincaid? But I agree with you. This is an interesting matchup for, like, the receivers in Buffalo. They don't scare me enough. You know, if you want to stick Gonzalez on Khalil Shakir, fine. You know, go for it. If Keon Coleman's having a bad season, he looks like a bust. I mean, also, this could also be a game that I feel comfortable with the cornerbacks playing sides. However, in those big moments, I do think they need to lock up Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. That's I'd say one of the, I mean, other than James Cook and Josh Allen on the ground, you know, the tight end matchup will be fascinating for me. I mean, Robert Spillane is limited. I think Christian Ellis is playing a really good brand of football. But against tight ends this year, I think the Patriots have been a little bit lackluster. So yeah, I don't know. I'm always in favor of, like, doing what Bill used to do, right? Do you guys remember the AFC Championship game against Kansas City? The big thing in the second half was Stephon Gilmore. They moved him on Travis Kelce, and then after the game, he said it was easier because tight ends are slow. It was hilarious. I love the energy. So who knows? Maybe a big moment you put Gonzalez on Dalton Kincaid, shut him down.
On what the Patriots with their offense, with Stephon Diggs having that huge game against Buffalo, and them being well aware of Diggs wanting to eat them alive, could you see them providing way more attention toward Diggs? Kind of like last time was kind of like, prove it. Let's see how good you are. Do you think this time they'll put extra attention toward Diggs? And if they do, which one of the receivers could benefit the most? Could it be Booty? Could it be Pop Douglas? If they do provide that type of coverage toward Diggs, which receiver you think it could have a breakout game?
Well, I think that's also fascinating too, because the Bills have an injury to their best cornerback. Christian Benford was a toe injury, which doesn't sound serious, but clearly toe injuries are a lot more serious than they sound. So, I mean, the Bills should do a better job covering Stephon Diggs this time around. But if they don't have their best cornerback, how exactly do they go about that? Do they double Diggs the entire time? And the name you said would be my answer. And Kayshon Boutte, he's really good, and unfortunately his season got stymied a little bit because of the hamstring injury. But prior to that injury, I mean, he was one of the best deep ball receivers in the NFL. He was on pace for over 900 yards. A guy like that could absolutely go off, especially if the Bills don't have their top cornerback and you're going to double someone like Stephon Diggs. I mean, Kayshon Boutte's been a really cool storyline among a season of plenty of good storylines for the Patriots. I could see him having a big matchup today, especially with the injuries in the secondary for the Bills.
We're talking to Mark Daniels. He covers the Patriots for Mass Live. For what we've talked about the Patriots this year in the past game, you want to run the ball on this Bills defense. They've been weak against the run, and the Patriots, there's a lot of hype coming into the season. Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, this kind of duo in the backfield, and Henderson comes out, a little slow to start the season, some rookie growing pains. Stevenson has his fumble issues, then he gets hurt, then Henderson gets hurt. Well, now it seems like both guys are in a rhythm. Both guys are healthy. Who do you see being the lead back today? How do you see McDaniels splitting them up?
Yeah, I think you need to lean heavily on Travion Henderson. I hate comparing people, young rookies, to good veterans, but I see the Jahmyr Gibbs, comps. I mean, 2 weeks ago against the Giants, he averages 6.1 yards per carry. I just think his ability to run with the ball in the flat and just to have big plays is what you need against a team like the Bills. You're right. The Bills are 28th in the NFL in rush yards allowed per game. They're 29th in yards allowed per carry. The Patriots need to run the ball efficiently to win this game, especially with the weather right now, guys. It's snowing outside. It's going to be slick. Ramondre he looked better against the Giants than he did in Cincinnati, but still he averaged 3.3 yards per carry. I'd love to see Ramondre get going a little bit here. I mean, it is in this time of year in December where teams lean more so on the run game, but Travion Henderson is just this game changer. And I think at this time of year, it's cold. You want to run the ball better going into the playoffs. A guy like this, if you can keep Travion going and you break a couple big runs, that's going to help you. I mean, run the ball efficiently, time of possession, win that battle, win the turnover battle. But yeah, Alex, I'd be all Travion in this one.
Yeah, for me, with the sticking to that side of the ball, with them being aggressive against this Bills defense, brings me to the tight ends. I've been saying it for a couple of years. The guys are good, and they kind of fly under the radar until they make big plays. But the Patriots tight ends, could they have a major impact in this game on the ground game? In the ground game, and we still got to remember they're missing their starting left tackle. With them, would they play with an extra lineman in certain situations? Will they keep one of the tight ends in the block? How could you see Hunter Henry and Hooper, their impact today? And could they finally be the ones to break through when it comes to red zone offense for this Patriots team? With the running backs being back and whatever, could the tight ends be the guys that finally make the plays today in the red zone?
Well, I certainly hope so. One of my biggest concerns about the Pats down the stretch, other than staying healthy and getting your good players back, is inside the 10-yard line, they're ranked 30th in the NFL in goal-to-go offense. It's kind of crazy. Scoring touchdowns 62% of the time. The Bills, conversely, they're scoring 87.5% of the time. So, again, the Bills are scoring just over 87% when they have first and goal. The Pats are at 62%. That's not going to cut it. In one in the playoffs or two in a big game like this today. But, Hunter Henry, guys, he's on pace for almost 800 yards. It's pretty remarkable. He's having the best season of his career, at age 31. Hunter Henry, honestly, he's playing like a borderline Pro Bowl tight end. So, yeah, I mean, he's been a security blanket for Drake May. Having him and Austin Hooper in the red zone should help you. They should already be better than they are. And when it comes to helping out the tight ends, what they did last time against the Giants and Brian Burns, they would have Hunter Henry or a running back or Austin Hooper chip the defensive end. So the defensive end is getting hit once before he takes on the tackle. I think you need to do that again today. Give Adarian Lowe as much help as you can. I don't see them sticking Hunter Henry in as an inline blocker, but at least, hit someone before you run your route.
Mark, before we wrap it up here, this is also the Patriots' first game back from the bye week. We know teams make adjustments, self-scouting, all of that during the week off. Any wrinkle, sort of change that you're looking for, that you're expecting coming out of the bye?
For me, it's all about the red zone. I mean, they're 24th in the NFL in red zone offense. They score touchdowns 51% of the time when they're inside the 20-yard line. It's not good enough. I mean, Josh McDaniels is way too good of an OC, and Drake May is way too good of a quarterback to be this bad when you're inside the 20-yard line. So against the Bills, it's snowing, the weather's not great, but hey, man, I don't want to see them settling for field goals. So I would love coming out of the bye if they could sort of fix this problem. That it's just, to me, it's surprising that's the problem. Again, you have McDaniels, your receivers are better. You have Drake May, who's playing like an MVP. You have Travion Henderson. We'll see if they fix that today.
He's Mark Daniels, covers Patriots for Mass Live. You can check him out on social media at by Mark Daniels. Mark, thanks for joining us, and safe driving today.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll get back. More Patriots, Bills thoughts coming up next here. Plus your calls, 617-779-0985 on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
More Sunday Kickoff coming up on the Sports Hub.
Holiday. the football. We talked about this earlier with the wide receiver room, right? Advantage Patriots with Drake May's weapons compared to Josh Allen's weapons. Let's go back to the – sorry, go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The throwing in the snow thing, the Patriots are really good at throwing the snow when they're in Brady's prime, whatever. But part of the reason was, and for a lot of teams to throw the ball in the snow, footing is terrible for a cornerback. Playing man defense in snow is ridiculous because you're backpedaling already, and you don't know which way you're going to have to cut. Whereas the receiver knows, I'm going to put one foot in the ground and I'm gone. These guys, they're skating backwards in the snow. So it opens up the passing game, is why you see a lot of big passing numbers in cold, snowy conditions. What was that? Shedeur Sanders last week and Josh Allen in snowy conditions both put up big numbers because the secondary just couldn't get their footing.
Let's grab a couple of these calls real quick here. Patty and Agawam on today's game. Patty.
What is going on, Cerrone and Alex? How you doing today?
Good.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm freaking psyched. This is going to feel like a throwback game back to the first wave of the dynasty. And I really do believe, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. I think this game is going to kind of set the tone how the rest of the season, the final 3 games, and how they go into the playoffs. Because you know how I feel about Sean McDermott, Alex. I think Allen is, could be an all-timer. He's great. He could take over a game. But there's no way, I don't think there's any way, with what's on the line, Vrabel lets this team lose this game. It's going to come down to offensive execution for the Patriots. And like I said, they get this win, I could see this team making a deep playoff run. That's all I got. Let's friggin' go, baby.
Thanks for calling, Patty. We talked about this earlier, and you're right. You don't want to be the team that backs into the playoffs. They can still get in, and you'd rather be in than not, obviously, but you don't want to be the team that backs in. You take care of this. Even if you lose to the Ravens next week, I still think the general feeling is you're going into the playoffs with momentum. You're going into the playoffs on a high note, having clinched the division with multiple weeks to play. Tony in Canada on the quarterback matchup today. Tony.
Hey, guys. So I heard you're getting snow. That's going to be interesting. Real quick, couple things here. I've been listening, first time I've been doing this, but I've been listening to some of the other channels for Buffalo.
Yeah.
And what they're talking about is they said basically Allen had a terrible game. He gave away the game. But they said that one thing Brady had mentioned is in Foxborough, when it's snowy outside, the pass rush has a lot. He called it pitter-patter. He said there's hardly any pass rush when it's snowy conditions because they can't really get a push up the field. And the question I had to ask you is, if Allen can put on his cape and run as we know he can, then why can't May at least do more of that this game, especially in those third down, fourth down, and red zone? Why don't we do that with May? Why don't we get May doing that in those situations? And that's the question. So I'll listen to the rest of the show.
Thanks for the call, Tony. Good point on the pass rush in the snow, too. Brady, you go back and look at some of the snow games. He's got all the time in the world back there. Now, against a quarterback like Allen, that can be dangerous, but it is a good point. And his point about Drake May running. So Drake May has run a little bit on third downs this year. They've been more hesitant to run him. The Bills run Josh Allen a lot. They probably run him too much, and you look at what happens when you get to the playoffs, how banged up he is. And Mike Vrabel made this point this week, and I think this is really what it comes down to. Josh Allen, I think, is listed at 250 pounds. I would take the over on that. He's listed at 237. He's bigger than that.
Bigger than that, yeah.
He's definitely bigger than that. Drake May isn't. Drake May, I think, is listed around 220. Yeah, 225. That's probably about right. I might even go a little under on that. Allen can just absorb some contact that May can't. Like, it's the Cam Newton, Ben Roethlisberger thing where...
Yeah, it's big.
Right. Those guys can give it to the defender. You really don't want Drake May doing that. He's not built like that. He can run, but he's not a power... It's just like with running backs. Like, he's not a power running back. Nobody was wondering why... I'm trying to think of like a small, fast running back. I don't know. All I can think of is Barry Sanders, but he could do everything.
Yeah.
Nobody was wondering, like, why isn't James White using the truck stick more? Right? Yeah. That wasn't his game. Him and LeGarrette Blount, stylistically different ball carriers. For all the comparisons between Allen and May, one of the biggest differences is as ball carriers, stylistically, they are different. You don't want Drake May, at least at this point in his career, absorbing the kind of contact that Josh Allen does. Now, game on the line, yard to go,
can do it.
Put the shoulder down. You don't want him doing it 5, 6, 7, 8 times a game like Josh Allen does. You can get into trouble there.
And real quick, if you watch enough of Josh Allen this year, I swear to God, every other game he's on the ground like, oh, his season's over. Like, you keep doing it.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Every time I'm watching him, his feet are kicking on the ground, and you're like, man, his shoulder, his wrist, his back, what is it? And then he comes back out there. But he's had several times. That Texas game alone, he probably had 3 plays where you thought his season was over. And you don't want to see that with Drake May. But I think he will have the opportunity to run. If they play a lot of man and they're turning their back today, and the pass rush is not getting to him, he's going to run to get the first down, but he's not going to Josh Allen and run to try and get touchdowns and get himself knocked out. So, yeah, if you watch Allen, he gets up and he's in a lot of pain in a lot of these games.
617-779-0985. Quick check of the headlines, then we go around the league. It's not just Patriots, Bills. Big slate today in the NFL. We'll touch on the rest of it here after these headlines. No commercials on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. There's a separation. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5. The Sports Hub.
From the Tell Your Type Studios, WBZ-FM and HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5. The Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group Station.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Big one today in Foxborough. Patriots and Bills squaring off at Gillette. Patriots coming off the bye with a win. They would clinch their first AFC East title since 2019. Pre-game coverage starting in an hour right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Other big games today, the attention in the 4 o'clock window. The Packers take on the Broncos in a massive interconference matchup. And then Phillip Rivers makes his return after a 5-year retirement. According to reports, he is expected to start for the Colts against the Seahawks. Your game tonight has the Vikings taking on the Cowboys. Army-Navy yesterday. Navy coming from behind to pick up a 17-16 win. Then last night, in other college football news, Fernando Mendoza named this year's Heisman Trophy winner. The Bruins are back in action today. They visit the Minnesota Wild. Coverage of that game starts at 5:30 on our sister station, Country 105.7. Then we'll move to the Sports Hub following the conclusion of Patriots coverage. The Celtics, they're off again today. They're back tomorrow when they take on the Detroit Pistons. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Sports Etc. They are Boston's best hockey shop and are fully stocked for the holiday season with great hockey gifts like the Bauer Mini Sticks International Collection, Stiga Tabletop Bubble Hockey, and the largest selection of skates and sticks anywhere in New England. Sports Etc. 1303 Mass Ave in Arlington or online at sportsetcetera.net. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update during Patriots pregame.
Sunday Kickoff with Alex Barth and Cerrone Battle on your station for the best football coverage. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
In the NFL, it's time.
This is Sunday Kickoff with Alex Barth and Cerrone Battle. The show that's all Patriots, all football.
Pick a target.
You pick it.
Take your pick.
Pick me. Pick me.
I did not pick. There was no pick.
Pick him up. You pick him up.
Pick.
I pick.
Pick me.
Take the teams.
Pick one, jerk.
All right, week 15 in the National Football League. Full slate, no buys. We're done with those. But let's get started with the game we already saw this week, the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will get right into this one, Cerrone. Close one. Falcons come back. How about a 3rd and 28, 28-3 on the other side of it? And the Bucs really falling down the stretch here.
Yeah, they've kind of fallen apart. The injuries kind of slowed them down. But they had their guys back. Their receivers were back. Godwin, man, he just showed up catching touchdowns. But, yeah, they're falling apart. And Atlanta picked this time of year. All of a sudden, when their season's over, to decide to be the Atlanta team we thought they would be back in September. And go figure.
Yeah, I'm the NFC South this year just confuses me as a whole, as it usually does, to be fair.
Yeah.
Let's get to today's games. The 3-10 Browns at the 9-4 Bears.
Caleb was so accurate in the preseason.
Well, it wasn't accurate. He's 10 for 20.
Bears 7.5-point favorites. It's kind of close line. 9-4 team at home against a 3-10 team. Do the Browns get within a touchdown, Cerrone?
I think they do because the elements are going to be the great equalizer in this one. It's wind chills of -17.
Yeah.
This game's going to be like 9-6 or something like that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close one. I give the Bears the edge at home. I think the Browns make it a game, but I think the Bears win this one.
Bears playing good football. I think they cover that 7.5. Let's go to the AFC North, where the 6-7 Ravens take on the 4-9 Bengals.
They're definitely real. I think I make too much money to have fake ones, so.
That was a little lighter side of Joe Burrow this week. He was going through it after that loss last week.
Poor kid.
Tough to blame him. Bengals, though, somehow still in it at 4-9. They need this one. They're 2.5-point underdogs at home.
I think the Bengals win this game. The Ravens struggle offensively. I think the Bengals put up enough points where the Ravens can't match it because Lamar Jackson is not himself. I don't know what's going on with him, but give me the Bengals at home to win this one and basically put it into the Ravens.
The Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. I'm just going to say that. And they're probably going to miss the playoffs, but the Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. Let's go to we have, I think, 5 double-digit spreads this week, if I counted correctly. Yes, one of 5 double-digit spreads between the 3-10 Arizona Cardinals and the 8-5 Houston Texans.
So it feels like the Cardinals were like, hey, this is actually the Call of Duty clause here.
The Texans at home, 10.5-point favorites against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals.
Texans better win this game. You got all the momentum. Everybody's watching and paying attention to you. Don't go typical Texans and lose this game. I hope the Texans win and win in a blowout and get this one over with.
Texans big. Big in this one. All right, we've got a tie, 3-way tie for the biggest spread of the week. There's some lopsided ones this week. Here's the first one, the 3-10 Jets at the 9-4 Jaguars.
Yeah, he'll still revert back to his Patriot ways every now and then, and we got to remind him he's in Jacksonville.
That was about Mac Jones, who might be starting quarterback in the NFL next year, but he's not in this game.
Sorry.
It's going to be it's Brady Cook for the Jets, right? Tyrod banged up, obviously against Trevor Lawrence. 13.5 points. The Jags are favored at home. 13.5, Cerrone.
When is the last time the Jags have been favored by that much?
I know.
It's got to be 20 years. Got to be Jimmy Smith and McCardell. But I got the Jags winning, but I don't think they get that 14. I got the Jags, but I think the Jets, with their run game and killing clock, I think they keep that game closer than it should be. But give me the Jags in the win.
Yeah, I usually don't take the lines that are this big in the NFL. That's a college line. I'm also kind of take-cornered here. I liked Brady Cook as like a 6th or 7th round project quarterback coming out of the draft. I know he was terrible. I know I also said that about Max Brosmer, and he threw 4 picks, so who the hell knows? I'll take the Jets to cover. That's just a big line for the NFL. Yeah. Big one in the AFC West. Somehow at 1 o'clock, these are usually 4 o'clock teams. The 9-4 Chargers at the 6-7 Chiefs.
For the present, you get home field advantage.
No home field advantage for the Chiefs this year, that's for sure. They can actually be eliminated today. There's a run of things that has to happen. It includes a Bills win. So Patriots fans, believe it or not, you are hoping the Chiefs are still in playoff contention after today. But the Chiefs, 6.5-point favorites at home against the Chargers.
Yeah, I guess I'll give it to the Chiefs. Chargers beat them already this year, but Chargers are really banged up. The offensive line is a mess. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be freezing in Kansas City as well. I don't think the LA team handles that well today. And I think the Chiefs win like 20-17 or something like that. I don't see them winning by a full touchdown.
I do think the Chiefs win this one. I'm trying to find that scenario. Here it is from Adam Schefter an hour ago. So the Chiefs lose. The Bills beat or tie the Patriots. The Jaguars beat or tie the Jets. And the Texans beat or tie the Cardinals. Look, we're hyped about where the Patriots are for this game. It's not unrealistic to say the Bills could win it. The Chiefs could be officially eliminated today. Like, that's absolutely on the table. We'll go back to Patriots-Bills in a bit. I'm sure you've heard it at this point, but the line, the Bills are 1.5-point favorites coming to Gillette. This one's got some stakes to it. Believe it or not, the 3-10 Commanders at the 2-11 Giants.
Cover 1, what do we want you to do? Probably. Touchdown. All right, I like that answer.
The Giants currently sit, now there's a couple 2-11 teams out there. but the Giants currently hold the top pick, strength of schedule. We went through all this last year. They are 2.5-point favorites, though, at home against the Commanders. Do the Giants lose control of the first overall pick today, Cerrone?
Yeah, I think they do, and they win the game because they already have their quarterback, they have their running back, they have the edge rusher, they got a receiver. So I mean, I don't think they're in the position to go after with the quarterbacks are going to be the ones everyone wants. So I think they'll be cool with the second or third pick in the draft. I think they go ahead and try and win this game against Washington. Will they beat Washington? I think they'll try, but I don't think they will. I got Washington winning this game.
I think the Giants win this one. I think they do. Right, it just seems like that one game late in the year, young quarterback, right? All that. I'll take the Giants. Final game in the 1 o'clock window: the 2-11 Raiders at 8-5 Eagles.
This past offseason, some clown named Mike Lombardi told him that he was the least qualified head coach in the NFL.
Well, they're going to need some good coach in the Eagles. They're in a little bit of a free fall. They are still 11.5-point favorites, though, against the Raiders, although lowest total of the week, 38.5. Same number as Army-Navy yesterday. Between the Eagles and Raiders, do the Eagles stop the free fall, or do things get ugly in Philly today?
They win, but they win ugly. I think it's still going to be a lot of questions after the game. Even though they're going to win, there's still going to be some questions and some spicy press conferences after that. So I got the Eagles winning, but it's going to be some controversy.
I'm with you. I don't. The Eagles win, but I don't think fans are going to feel good about where they're at. That team's in a weird spot right now. Let's go to the 4 o'clock window. A lot of Patriots fans, especially if they win today, going to quickly be flipping over to this one. Actually, they're both on CBS, so you can keep it right there. I think we get Broncos Packers today. I don't know. I'll double check. Anyway, 9-3-1 Packers at 11-2 Broncos.
They're going to kick it. They're going to kick it.
Kick what?
Kicking the field goal.
What?
We get the CBS late window here in New England, so you will get Green Bay and Denver. The Packers going into Mile High, 2.5-point favorites.
I think the Packers go in there and win that game. I think the way Love is playing right now and the overall the team, the way the team is playing, and the Broncos are winning these games, but they win a lot of close games and they're inconsistent from quarter to quarter. I think the Packers go in there and figure out a way to win this game.
Toyota-thon Jordan Love is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
I think the Packers can score on this Broncos defense. I'm still not totally sold on where Bo Nix is at. Give me the Packers in this one. Another big game in the NFC, the 8-5 Lions at 10-3 Rams. We got this one, Lions-Rams. All right, we'll get right to it here. The Rams 6.5-point favorites. That's the highest total of the week. 55 points expected to be put up at SoFi. Who you got?
I got the Rams, but this is a big game when it comes to MVP, the MVP voting at the end of the year. If Stafford lights up the Lions, he can probably lock up the MVP. Same thing with Drake May against the Bills. But the Lions, look, man, this is the kind of game that kind of win late. And, man, you know what? Yeah, give me the Lions. Give me the Lions to go in there and put up big numbers against this Rams team and win this game.
I think something's off with the Lions this year. I think you got the Rams, still looking for the bounce back from that Panthers game. I'll take the Rams in this one by a touchdown. The 7-6 and now first place Carolina Panthers at 3-10 New Orleans Saints.
That's to block out any noise, so I just hear it clear.
Have you always done that?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like every week I find myself saying that the Panthers line is disrespectful. Cat's only getting 2.5 points going into the Superdome.
Hey, look, Saints have been playing better. Their quarterback, I don't know if they found their quarterback in the future, but he's playing good ball. But the Panthers, this is the type of game the Panthers lose. The one they need to save their franchise, they find a way to lose it. But I got faith in them. I think the Panthers win this game in a close one, like 24-20 or something like that.
That would be very NFC South for the Bucs to lose to the Falcons and the Panthers to lose to the Saints, given these circumstances. But I'm going to have faith in the Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. All right, I'm excited for this one. It's another one of these 13.5-point spreads, but this game is about so much more than that. With the 8-5 Colts taking on the 10-3 Seahawks.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
You know who they wrote off? It's Phillip Rivers. Well, because he retired. He's now back after 5 years at 44 years old. Colts are 13.5-point underdogs. with the old man under center, does Phillip Rivers give us the sports story of the year, Cerrone?
Man, I think he has flashes of it. I think he does for a little bit, but I think the speed, the timing, and the rhythm is going to throw him off this week. I think next week will be the one he gets going. But this week, I don't see it, not against the Saints. And I think the Saints are going to put up a ton of points and force them in a situation where Rivers is going to have to throw the ball 35 times. So I got the Seahawks blowing these guys out.
Don't you think Rivers kind of wants to throw the ball 35 times, though?
Yes, he does.
The Seahawks are going to win. They're probably going to cover, but I think we see some flashes from old Phillip Rivers there. I think he gives us a couple plays that we can have fun with. One more game in the 4 o'clock window, the 2-11 Titans at the 9-4 Niners.
He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's another 13.5-point spread. Niners with that advantage at home. Who you got?
Yeah, give me the Niners, man. Give me the Niners. The Titans are playing decent, but they're playing good enough to stay in it and just figure out a way to lose the game. Give me the Niners. The Titans, I don't even know who they take in the draft at this point. I mean, they need so much help.
Got to trade
but
down.
Give me the Niners to win this one.
They got to trade down, accumulate those picks. Like Ruben Bain, pretty good player. We'll see him in the playoff. I'll take the Niners to win that one. I'll take them to cover, even though it's a big line. Tonight, for some reason, in prime time, the 5-8 Vikings at the 6-1 Cowboys.
And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Primetime 9, J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, 5.5-point underdogs against the Cowboys.
Cowboys going to blow these dudes out, man. I see the Cowboys by 2 touchdowns at least. I think they force a ton of turnovers and blow these guys out.
I'm with you. Give me the Cowboys in that one. And once again, for some reason in primetime, I guess actually both these teams are still in it. I should knock this one as much. The 6-7 Dolphins at the 7-6 Steelers.
What have you figured throughout this process?
That it's not good to get concussions.
Winner makes the playoffs. Loser fires their coach. Steelers 3.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is going to be in Pittsburgh and Tua's record when it's below 35, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not good. So give me the Steelers and not a blow up in the game that they got to win and put an end to this Dolphins run.
Yeah, he finally won a cold game last week, but that was against whatever's left of the Jets. Give me the Steelers big in this one, and that is your Week 15 NFL slate. We'll get back to Patriots Bills next here on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
Stay tuned for more Sunday Kickoff on the Sports Hub. Hey, if you notice sticky doors and windows, cracks in brick, drywall, or your foundation, that's a sign of big problems, and it's time to call the Foundation Pros. Ramjack of New England. They don't have fancy celebrity endorsers, but dig and fix all over New England and know how to get the job done right. Trust the local experts. Whack the crack with Ramjack. Ramjack.com.
Tingsboro, it's here. Augusta's is now open at 440 Middlesex Road. Dig into their famous chicken bites, Augusta Busta subs, and that massive 24-foot salad bar. Simply put, they're serving the best damn chicken, period. Now in Tingsboro, Billerica, and Foxborough.
The Great Gifting Event at BJ's Wholesale Club offers such great deals, we called in the greatest gift deliverer to spread the word.
Let's in here, Santa's hardest working reindeer, letting everyone know the Great Gifting Event at BJ's is on with 25% off select toys, 30% off select video games and small appliances, and more through December 24th. Plus, get free same-day delivery on eligible items. You'll save money while saving my aching hooves.
For terms, visit bjs.com/gifting and save all holiday season.
Take the next step toward your home goals with St. Anne's Credit Union. Whether you're buying or refinancing, they offer fixed-rate mortgages as low as 5.114% annual percentage rate for a 10-year term, giving you stability and peace of mind. And getting started is easy. They provide free pre-qualifications so you can shop with confidence and know exactly where you stand. Visit StAnne's.com/loans to begin your application today. NMLS number 525435, Equal Housing Opportunity.
For all your heating and cooling needs, you need Endless Energy.
New England winters mean waiting for your car to warm up each morning, but you shouldn't have to wait for your shower to warm up. If your water heater isn't keeping up, contact Endless Energy at 775-END-LESS or go endlessenergy.com to get fast virtual water heater replacement quotes. And mention Sports Hub to unlock special discounts.
on what's changed since the last meeting, Patriots-Bills. I think, Cerrone, as we get back into this matchup here, and if you want to join us, there's still time, 617-779-0985. We talked about it earlier. The biggest change from the Week 5 game to now in terms of the X and O's of it is Patriots not having Milton Williams. We did not talk enough about how good Milton Williams was in that game, both against the run and chasing down Josh Allen in the pocket. Mark Daniels said it earlier. I'm with him 100%. They need a huge game from Christian Barmore today, and you're looking at somebody else, whether it's Kyrus Tonga, it looks like he could come back from injury, Corey Durden, somebody on that defensive front, Elijah Ponder, to step up and have a big game as well. It's a lot to replace what they lost not having Milton Williams in this game.
Do you think they changed the strategy? We talked earlier about footing for a defensive line in a situation like this. Could you see them in a situation where they don't really rush to get upfield on Josh Allen and kind of just not spy him, but the D-line kind of half rush and just kind of put a wall up and just watch and see what he does and force him to throw the ball downfield as opposed to getting out and running? Because if they get upfield too far on him, now he's having his big day or whatever. I understand in rushing situations, you got to attack. But could you see in those situations where it's 3rd and 9 or whatever it is where the D-line just doesn't – they don't go upfield and just kind of put up a wall with a bunch of speed guys out there and try and track them down?
Maybe. I will say, like, looking at – because it's funny, I've seen some Patriots fans like, yes, snow game, this is great. It's like the good old days. I'm in that category, hand up. And I've seen some people be like, no, you don't want the snow. It adds this, the Patriots are the better team. It's a leveling element. You don't want it. I think we might get the best of both worlds. Now, I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know what it's going to look like in 4 hours, but it looks like the snow's supposed to taper off. And what they're showing on ESPN, Mike Reese posted his press box picture. It doesn't look like the snow's accumulating. So we'll get it for the aesthetic.
But not on the field.
Not
it's not going
maybe
change,
to impact the game. That being said, I do think Vrabel talked about, and I wrote about this on 985thesportshub.com this week in my 5 things. Vrabel talked about how tricky it is to rush Josh Allen, and the phrase he used was coordinated and relentless, and I think that's a great way to put it. You can't just let him stand back there in the pocket because he will extend it a little bit, and I don't care where the Bills receivers are at. You can't ask the corners to cover for 5 or 6 seconds. You just can't do it, but you can't over-pursue him to the factory as these rush lanes as what the Bengals did last week. So I do still think they're going to come after him, but I don't, maybe some 5-man blitzes. I don't think they're going to overly aggressively blitz him, but I do think they're going to come after him. And then there's the matter of when he does throw the ball, the one guy I look at is Dalton Kincaid. And it's an interesting one because I'm not super worried about the guys on the outside, Gabe Davis, Brandon Cooks, Khalil Shakir. That's the matchup for Marcus Jones. That was a good matchup last time out. I feel good about the Patriots there. Dalton Kincaid in the Week 5 matchup went for over 100 yards. He had 6 catches for 108. Nobody else on the Bills had more than 45 receiving yards. That was Shakir. So can they replicate, hey, Kincaid might beat us, or like Kincaid individually might beat us, but if we take all the other stuff away, we can win. If we can take away the ground game, if we can take away Shakir, can the Patriots replicate that? Do they replicate that? Or do they look somewhere else and say, all right, we need to take Kincaid away, and maybe that opens up another opportunity? I'll be fascinated to see how they approach the coverage element of this game.
Yeah, do you think they lean one way, heavier one way? Like, for example, we're all worried, man, you got to stop Cook, you got to stop Cook, you got to stop, Allen from running the football. Could you see him in a situation say, you know what, we're still not giving up the big play. We're going to make the Bills, okay, you like the march, we're going to see you march. Let's see if you can get that 14-play drive. We're not giving you the big play because Josh Allen, as great as he is with his legs and his arm and all these other things, the big play is where they still burn you. They still put up a ton of points hitting big plays. Do you think they can just still say, we're not giving you the explosive plays. We'll give you 3 yards at a time, but you're not getting the big plays.
The problem is against this Bills team, it's hard to say we'll give you 3 yards at a time because they'll take 5.
They'll take it
with the run game, right? And a lot of their big plays have come in the run game. It sounds crazy. Are the Patriots in a better place when Josh Allen is throwing the football? Now, I say that very specifically because they can call drop back passes and Josh Allen will take off and run and they can be very dangerous there. You want to force Josh Allen to have to nickel and dime his way down the field, make tight window throws. Part of the way you do that is you force them into passing situations. To your point, Cerrone, can you take away the big play, put yourself in a position where you're defending against the big play without having to worry about the run? How do you put yourself in that position? You do it by having a good start on offense and getting a lead and getting up on the scoreboard. What needs to happen for the Patriots to do that? Let's break down the other side of this matchup with the Patriots have the football. We'll do that next here on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
More Sunday Kickoff is on the way on the Sports Hub.
The new holiday scratch tickets from the Mass Lottery are here. And with $191 million in total prizes, it's the holiday gift even Santa can't compete with. Sorry, big guy. The new holiday scratch tickets from the Mass Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play.
Greg Bedard here. I know you hear a lot about heating, plumbing, and AC on the station, and you don't think about it until your system breaks and you need it immediately. That's what happened to me, and I called Naterno Home Services, a local family-owned company, and they were there when I needed them. Naterno will buy back your old furnace, heat pump, boiler, mini split, water heater, or water filtration system for up to $2,000. Plus, they offer Bryant HVAC equipment for $0 down with 0 interest for 36 months on all qualifying purchases. Visit NaternoHome.com to learn more. When your house says, oh no, better call Naterno.
I'm Jen Harper, the founder of Cheekbone Beauty. We grew the brand to like $1 million from a corner of my basement. I don't feel like I'm technology savvy whatsoever, but companies like Shopify exist, so you can literally build a website in an evening. I really look at it like the sort of the level of the playing field, and Shopify just made it like foolproof. It was so easy. I don't think I could ever go work for anyone else ever again. We're Cheekbone Beauty and we're powered by Shopify.
Imperial Car's year-end doorbuster clearance event is going on now. Don't miss huge discounts across our entire inventory of over 2,000 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. We have something for every budget. Take advantage of savings up to 15% off MSRP, 0 down leases, and interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, purchase now and get no payments for up to 3 months. Click ImperialCars.com or stop on by. Just look for the car in the sky.
At L&F Electrical Heating and Cooling, whether you're a general contractor or homeowner, we pride ourselves on being the most affordable electrical heating and cooling solution.
We offer services like new construction, heat pumps, generators, car charger installs, panel upgrades, and all other electrical needs.
For reliable service at unbeatable prices, call 844-LF-WIRES or visit lfelectricalservice.com. Proudly veteran-owned.
At Boston Logan, we know the holidays bring us together, and we're here to help make sure your holiday travel stays merry and bright. We recommend arriving 2 to 3 hours early, and make sure to keep your presents unwrapped. But don't worry, once you're here, you can pre-order your favorite food for pickup straight from the app. Let the kids loose at kid ports throughout the airport, or maybe just do some last-minute shopping. Download the Fly Logan app, or visit flylogan.com. Boston Logan, going above and beyond this holiday season.
Make every holiday party shine with Whole Foods Market. Hosting? Stock up on their Wallet Happy 365 brand with appetizers like walnut honey shrimp and breaded calamari. Plus, save now on crowd-pleasing bone-in spiral cut ham with no antibiotics ever. For dessert, check out limited time treats like their holiday rum cake. Yum! Shop Whole Foods Market with so many ways to save on festive spreads all month long. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm offensive lineman Caden Wallace. When I got drafted, I worked hard to find my place, learning the playbook, building trust, and finding a home in New England. But not everyone has that chance. That's why I'm proud to partner with Heading Home. Heading Home is working to end homelessness in Massachusetts by helping families find stability and a future. Because a real win is when everyone has a place to call home. Learn more at headinghomeinc.org. That's headinghomeinc.org.
Hey, it's Hardy. Listen up. Next Day Molding's now open down the Cape in Hyannis. That's right, Boston's go-to for energy-efficient, reliable, gelled-win interior and exterior doors. Just added a 5th store right at Barnstable Road and Charles Street. Go to nextdaymolding.com or stop by Hyannis, Braintree, Woburn, Shrewsbury, or Sharon. Next Day Molding, Boston's and now the Cape's trusted source for gelled-win doors.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders and new sauces. So whether you're a creamy ranch girly or a new Wendy's signature stand, you can dip to your heart's content. Now let's wrap this up because I gotta dip. I want to try these new tenders. For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
He begins the approach with a run-up and a swing of the right leg.
Every football game starts with the kickoff. This is Sunday Kickoff with Alex Barth and Cerrone Battle on your home for Patriots football. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
A 2nd down and 9 coming up from the Bills 36. Pats to Spurs with Diggs trotting out to the far side.
Rookie on the
left field right. You got a receiver over on the left with Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State in the backfield. Deep drop by May on play action. A blitz coming. Drake rolls right, directing traffic. Off balance, throw to the end zone. Caught by the receiver. Diggs at the 5. He made the grab at the 5, and he's tackled out of bounds. Great work by May off platform. He didn't get to the end zone, but he sets up the Patriots on a 1st and goal to go with a throw to Stephon Diggs against his former teammate, Tre'Davious White.
What a catch. What a battle by Diggs downfield, splitting 2 guys in coverage, and he catches it as he's looking at the sideline, makes the catch, gets both feet in. He is feeling it.
And it is in the Patriots' best interest to get a lead in this game early, so the Bills are forced into situations where they have to throw. Now, how do they get there? I go right to Stephon Diggs. Diggs obviously had that big game against Buffalo last time out. He was, you see the videos that came out after the game of him on the sidelines and before the game. He was another level of locked in, and I don't mean this to sound like I'm coming at him for not caring the rest of the season. He's been good the rest of the season, but you understand why that game, you got like a different version of him. Now, he's not returning to Buffalo, but it is against his former team. Do we get that version of Stephon Diggs again today? Because if we do, we talked about this earlier with Mark Daniels, the Bills might be out their best corner in Christian Benford. It's a young secondary. It's a banged-up secondary. You get this version of Stephon Diggs against that secondary, that's going to create a ton of opportunities for Drake May.
Yeah, I think Diggs has a big game. I don't think he gets the 10 catches or the amount of targets, but I think he makes the big plays, the key 3rd downs. I think he might get in the end zone today. I could see him sitting around 6-7 catches or something like that, but I don't think he gets the same targets because I think that Patriots team we saw then were still building. They were still trying to figure out what they had and where they were, where they stood offensively. So it was, I got to find Diggs. I got to find Diggs. It was him rolling right, finding Diggs over and over again when it mattered. I think this team is more balanced now, and we didn't know then that they had the downfield threats that they do. We didn't know Bob Douglas was still going through whatever he was going through at the time, but I think now they're more balanced. We don't even know which one of the running backs are going to get the bulk of the carries, which tight ends are going to get the bulk of the targets. I think they're such a balanced team that if they can win without Diggs getting 10 catches or that many targets. So I can see the offense being more spread out, but Diggs still finding a way to make the plays that matter, key 3rd downs, like I said, and might even be the guy in the red zone. I think he gets in the end zone today, but I expect a balanced attack from this Patriots offense.
Well, there's also the element of, do the Bills try to take away Diggs? Listening to people up there talk, and they felt like they didn't give him enough attention last time in coverage, which I think is correct. But if you don't have Benford, what does that look like?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, how much attention can you pay to Diggs without opening it up for other options on the offense? You would ask Mark earlier, like, okay, who steps up if it's not Diggs? I know he'd said Kayshon Boutte, who I think could have a game day. I'm looking at Pop Douglas. To your point, you said he was still going through whatever. To me, they were still trying to figure out exactly what his role was going to be.
Yeah.
And they've now kind of figured him out as this vertical option. You get him on a 2nd, a 3rd corner, maybe even in a safety if you can trap the Bills and base personnel, and you get him running up the seam and you give him opportunities to run after the catch. I like Pop Douglas. It's not going to be a high-volume thing, but maybe 1 or 2 big plays in this game.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely see that. I could see Matt Collins as well on 3rd down, moving the chains, playing across the middle of the field. I think this team is going to be very balanced. I think they're going to be very focused. And I think the Bills, they might get after May, but to me, it's the receivers getting open. I think they're going to get open fast today, and May's not going to have to stand back there long and look around and try and figure out where things are going. And I think he's going to be able to read this team and make the throws. And if they play this Patriots team one-on-one, I think it'd be lights out with them offensively. And once that gets going, you get you a lead.
Right.
If 7-10 points or whatever, now you can run the football. Now you can really put it on this Bills team. But I think they're going to come out throwing all over this Bills team and run the ball late. And I think that's going to be the strategy. If it plays out that way, we'll see. But I think we're going to see that ball in the air more than people anticipate.
You want to get to a point where you're running the ball pretty regularly because you can run on this Bills defense.
Yeah.
You can run on this Bills defense even kind of when they know it's coming. One of the worst run defenses in the league, 29th in yards per attempt allowed, 5.1 yards per carry. It's actually the same as what they have on offense. So as much as we hype up this Bills run game on offense, the run defense has been weak. You can get to them, and I want to see them mix them up. I want to see the body blows from Ramondre Stevenson, and then that turning into trying to create some big opportunities off the outside for Travion Henderson. I kind of want the 50-50 split from the running backs.
Yeah.
I think there's an advantage. You're coming off the bye. You're already fresh to begin with. Keeping these guys fresh legs in the game, and really trying to wear down and lean on that Bills run defense, that Bills front.
Yeah, I mean, we got to remind the Bills on both sides of the ball. You're not playing the Cincinnati Bengals,
right?
You're not dealing with that. It took an amazing pick six. We got to remember that for them to win that game against Cincinnati last week because they got off to a really slow start. But you're not dealing with Cincinnati. You're dealing with the Patriots. You're in Foxborough, and I want to see the aggression from this Patriots team like we saw before the bye when they played the Giants. They were knocking logos off the helmets. I want to see that type of aggression on both sides of the ball, and I think, like you said, keeping the running backs fresh, Ramondre fresh, it allows him to be more of that power back. And remember, the Patriots had a chance to really blow Buffalo out. It was Ramondre fumbled that ball, I believe, in that game and gave Bills life a little bit. But I think they were up 10, I think, at the time. But hold on to the football, but be aggressive against this Bills team. And you got to kind of remind them that you're the better team and let them know why, you haven't lost since before the fall and take it to this team. I think they can offensively and put real pressure on this Bills team.
I'm glad you brought up turnovers. Turnovers will loom large here. The Patriots, knock on wood, have been very good about this. Just 2 turnovers in the last 4 games. That includes two turnover-free games in the last 4 games. The Bills side was on Catch 22 this week with Evan Lazard. We're talking about the last game, and he goes, and I get it, like, this is kind of sort of just the comment you make, you can't count on the Bills to turn it over 3 times like they did in the first meeting.
Oh, they do.
They turned the ball over 3 times in 3 of the last 5 games. They have a turnover in 5 games in a row. They turned the ball over 8 times all of last year. They have 18 to this point this year. The Bills, don't get me wrong, they're talented. The biggest difference, and I think they've lost some talent off the roster from last year to this year, the biggest difference, though, is they are sloppy. They are an undisciplined, sloppy football team. They commit turnovers. They commit penalties. 11 in the last game. They're averaging 6.5 per game this year. That number is probably a little high. The Bills will give you opportunities to take the football away. Take them. Can't have defensive backs dropping passes. This was the 21 game. They had a chance to win. Remember, J.C. Jackson right in his hands. And he dropped it. You can't have that day. You got to take advantage of the turnover opportunities the Bills give you. One other point of emphasis for me in this game. You go back the last couple of years, Patriots-Bills, and it hasn't been any game, or it hasn't been every game, but it's been more often than not. Go back to the 2022 game. The Bills returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. The next year, Jalen Reagor is a kickoff return for a touchdown. You have the game last year up there, which was close. The Patriots lost. But the special teams is what kept them in it. They had a successful fake punt and a big kickoff return from Antonio Gibson. And then obviously earlier this year, the 52-yard walk-off field goal. There's been a big special teams play or two more often than not the last 3 years when these teams have met. This is the kind of game that could come down to a big special teams play. Who gets it in this one? Is it the Patriots or is it the Bills?
I think it's the Patriots. Patriots have been good special teams all year. I brought this up yesterday. This team's got kick return touchdown, punt return touchdowns. Field goal's been money. Their punt has been money. They're a good special teams unit, and it's one of the reasons why they're still winning games. They're really good at field position. Marcus Jones is a weapon. He's a weapon as a return man. He changes how guys kick to him. You see shank punts, you see short punts because they're kind of afraid of him. And he's very good at selling where the ball's going to come down. He's a dangerous man back there in punt returns. And since Kyle Williams has been back there as a kick returner, they're getting good field position out of their return guys as well. So this is a very dangerous special teams unit, and it's one that every time the ball's in the air going toward them, you don't want to turn your head because they have the ability to get upfield and get points out of this. So that's a great point by you, and I think that's going to be a huge factor in today's game.
I'm looking at Marcus Jones, but the Bills' kickoff return unit specifically has been very good. Remember what they did to Tampa a couple weeks ago? They didn't have a touchdown, but they had 4 or 5 long returns that kept setting the Bills up with short field. So there's going to be a major special teams play at some point in this game. Could be, again, there's been twice it's been the opening kickoff, right, to a walk-off field goal. But it's going to happen at some point. Get ready for it, and that could be one of the major deciding factors. Who will it favor? Who ends up winning the game? We'll wrap this up with our game picks next here on Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
More Sunday Kickoff coming up on the Sports Hub.
Your home protects your family, so protect your home with new roofing, gutter upgrades, and fresh siding from Canal Roofing. Trusted workmanship, honest pricing, local crews. Canal Roofing, built to last. Visit canalroofing.com today.
2025, the year of the government shutdown. 2025, the year AI went crazy. December 2025, the month you got off your ass and went to Warrendale Appliance Stores in Boston and Waltham to save up to 60% off on your next appliances. 170 High Street in Waltham and our new store is 781 Center Street, Boston.
If you love the old school North End, the real North End, get yourself to Tony and Elaine's. It's a true red sauce throwback. Big bowls of pasta, scratch-made chicken parm, and the winner of the North End's best meatball. All at prices that feel like another era. Headed to TD Garden? Tony and Elaine's is the perfect pregame dinner located at 111 North Washington Street. And here's the twist. Every week, Tony and Elaine's hides gift cards around Boston. Want the clues? Follow at Tony and Elaine's on Instagram. Get the hints, find the cards, and taste the best of the North End. At Tony and Elaine's.
What the is going on? Where's all this water coming from? I think, and it's just a guess, it's coming from your roof. Hottie?
Yeah, it's me, but listen, you've clearly got roof issues.
Oh, I got issues, all right. My ex-brother-in-law, did my roof like 10 years ago. He must have it up.
Yeah, so call Beantown Home Improvement, 781-293-1417. They'll come out, give you a free estimate, and they'll take care of your roof the way it was supposed to be done.
Hey, thanks, Hottie.
Take my advice. Call Beantown Home Improvements now. They don't around. 781-293-1417 or go to beantownhi.com.
This winter at Smugs, stay 3 nights or more and get 1 night free. Smugs is home to 3 big mountains, 78 trails, terrain for all abilities with 300 inches of average snowfall. Smugs, your home away from home with daily access to heated pools, hot tubs, tubing, Nordic trails, and endless indoor play at the Fun Zone 2.0. Plus, enjoy a variety of dining and shopping options in the village with weekly activities to entertain the entire family. Stay 3 nights or more and get 1 night free. Visit smugs.com today.
Hi, this is Boston Ford Sam Hauser, and I'm proud to partner with Delta Dental of Massachusetts on Veterans Assist. Every time we record an assist this season, Delta Dental donates $25 up to $50,000 to the Tufts University School of Dental Medicine's Cares for Veterans program. This program makes a real difference delivering dental care to veterans experiencing housing challenges across Massachusetts. Let's give our veterans something to smile about with the care they deserve. Join us in making it happen. Visit 985thesportshub.com/veterans to learn more. Together, we're empowering smiles, one assist at a time.
Whether I'm heading to a game, the airport, or out with friends, to get where I need to be in comfort and style, I rely on the pros at A Plus Coach. Anthony and his team at A Plus Coach offer world-class personal transportation services with the best fleet of luxury vehicles anywhere in Massachusetts, all at an affordable price. Next time you're heading to a game, heading to Logan like I do, or heading to Boston for a night out, leave the driving to A Plus Coach. For reservations and more, visit apluscoach.com or call 781-THE-LIMO. That's apluscoach.com or 781-THE-LIMO. And to get the best rate, tell them so sent you.
Coleman!
It's electric!
Need an electrician? Call Coleman Electric. I know you think you already have one, but what you really have is an electrician's phone number. You call, get voicemail, and pray like the dickens he calls you back. Hi, Larry Electric. Call you back tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, electricians love their job, but they hate answering the phone. So Coleman Electric came up with this idea. Coleman would have a ton of experienced electricians on staff and then hire a bunch of other folks to answer the phone. I mean, it's stinking brilliant. It's
electric.
Yeah, it's Coleman Electric. From Boston to Bow, New Hampshire, south to Sandwich, west to Worcester, when you need an electrician at your house, call Coleman Electric and schedule service with a live human being. Disclaimer, don't call at 3 a.m. because our humans do sleep. But Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you call and we'll be at your place in the flick of a switch. And if the switch is broken, they'll be there quicker. Coleman Electric, Kuhlman. Electricians who answer the phone. I mean, it's brilliant.
It's electric!
Make the holiday season shine at Ipswich Country Club. Host your private or company celebration in a beautiful setting made for memorable moments. Book your event today. Visit IpswichCountryClub.com. That's IpswichCountryClub.com.
Have you tried Good Stuff Smokehouse, New England's premier #1 barbecue destination? Well, I can tell you their barbecue is the best in the state, but now they've also added a brewery. In addition to their 150 whiskey and homemade sodas, come down to Good Stuff Smokehouse and try not only the best barbecue in the state, but their unrivaled beverage list. GoodStuffSmokehouse.com.
This hour of the Sports Hub was brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
Hang with 98.5 The Sports Hub and Bud Light this Sunday to watch the game. We'll be at Urban Wild in Charlestown from 12 to 2 p.m. for New England's game against Buffalo. Be sure to grab Bud Light swag and enter for the chance to win a pair of tickets to a future home game. Courtesy of Bud Light, must be 21 plus. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Alex Barth and Cerrone Battle are here, talking football every Sunday morning with the insiders and with you. It's Sunday Kickoff on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, it just got excited all over again. 0-4 Tuna is going to go crazy today at Gillette. And if you're going to the game, so if you haven't been this year, or for those who don't know, the Patriots are doing like lineup introduction runouts this year. Most other teams around the league do this now, so they're bringing it, and they've alternated offense and defense, and it is the offense's turn to get introduced today. So at about 12:55, we're going to get and at quarterback, number 10, and that should be an unbelievable moment in that building. Hopefully one of many today. Patriots, Bills, pregame coverage, our pregame show comes up next. Chris Gasper, Jim Murray, Bob and Zoe of the call, and then Joe Murray and Mark Dendero will be back postgame, hopefully to discuss the division title. If not, kind of what the Patriots need to do to clean things up down the stretch. Again, the stakes here, the Patriots, if they win today, they clinch the AFC East. They can still, I believe, clinch a playoff spot if they lose. They would need a couple of games to go their way, but obviously you don't want to back in. You want to be taking it as you want to take the crown for yourself. As Drake May put it this week, control your own destiny. The Patriots clinch a playoff berth. They would need the Texans to lose to the Cardinals and the Colts to lose to the Seahawks. So you're looking at two pretty significant upsets there. Mm-hmm. But doesn't matter if they just take care of business and they win this one. It feels wrong, Cerrone, expecting a team, especially such a young team, to win an 11th game in a row. But do they do it today? What's your pick?
I think they do. They're a young team, but they have veteran playmakers. Stephon Diggs is out there. Gonzalez is young, but he's a good player. He's a very good player on that defense. Carlton Davis has won a Super Bowl. Excuse me. He had playoff runs. They have guys on the outside that are good players. This Patriots team, Landry, veteran player. You got Moses on the offensive line. They have veteran guys around that are leading these locker rooms that have prepared them for these big games, big matchups. And most importantly, where I think they have the biggest edge of all is on them sidelines. I think McDaniels is going to have this offense ready. I think Vrabel's going to have this team ready and prepared. They have 2 weeks prepared for this game. I think they're going to come out flying, man. I think they're going to come out smoking. And there's a reason Buffalo's fighting for their lives right now. They've been an inconsistent team, especially defensively. And I think that shows up again today. There's a reason they've lost 3 games on the road, including at Miami, at Texans, with a backup quarterback. I think this Bills team is going to be frustrated today. And I think the Patriots are going to be very sharp from out the gate. I see the Patriots winning this one. I got them by a touchdown, like 27-20, somewhere around there.
So you mentioned coming off the bye. I can't believe I didn't get to this stat, or I did earlier in the show and I forgot. That's also possible. Mike Vrabel as a head coach during his time in Tennessee, 6-0 off the bye. 6-0. You want to take that to another level? Sean McDermott as a head coach against teams coming off the bye is 0-3. Now, first of all, it's ridiculous. He's only faced 3 teams coming off the ball in 9 years. It shows you the kind of preferential treatment the Bills have gotten from the league. But also, one of those 3 losses was to Mike Vrabel in 2020, Another one was to the Falcons earlier this year. Both of those were road games, as it is today for the Buffalo Bills. I said on Patriots Hub podcast with Matt Dolph this week, I was picking the final score as 24-21. I wasn't sure which team. Dolph bullied me into a pick, and I'm going with the Patriots. Yeah. 24, even the Patriots, 24-21 in this one. Jake Seymour has been producing today. Real quick, Jake, what do you got? Give us a score here.
I think Patriots win this one's going to be a close one. I'm going to say 27-24.
All right, so we're all kind of in that same ballpark. Should be a good one down at Gillette. Again, pregame coverage coming up, and then Bob and Zoe with the call at 1 o'clock. Matt Dolph and I will have the Patriots Hub podcast tonight, reacting to the game. You can find that wherever you get your podcasts, also on the Sports Hub YouTube channel. That's also where you can find replays of this show if you missed it. Also, Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff, wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, Matt and I will have plenty of coverage on 98.5 thesportshub.com leading up to the game and what comes next as the Patriots look to lock up their first playoff spot since 2021 in their first AFC East title, first divisional title since a guy named Tom Brady was playing quarterback in 2019. Big time football's back in New England. It's great to have it. I appreciate everybody calling in today, lighting the phone lines up right away. Everybody on social media. I hope everybody enjoys the game today. If you're driving down to Gillette, stay safe. I'm sure that the road crews, talking to the guys coming in for pregame, sounds like the road crews, as always, have done a fantastic job of getting the roads ready. And have fun at the game today. Have fun if you're watching at home. This is a game a couple years in the making in New England. That's kind of the reality of it. Hopefully it gets unseated very quickly as the biggest game in New England with the playoff game coming soon. But boy, this has been a fun one to talk about all week. Really the last 2 weeks going back to the bye. And hopefully we have some fun talking about it on the other side as well. So for Cerrone Battle, for Jake Seymour, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for tuning in. Again, enjoy the game. We'll talk to you next.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station.
This is Patriots Preview, driven by the stylish Honda Accord. Contact your local New England Honda dealers to learn more or shop online at newengland.hondadealers.com.
The snap to May. Back 2 steps. Looks to the end zone. He pumps. Drake May eludes a defender. Running to his left. Looking to the end zone. Trying to keep the play alive. Falling down. He throws to the end zone. It's caught.
Got it.
Touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, my gosh.
Drake May.
The Patriots are brought to you by Safety Insurance, Catches Law,
Shaw's and Star Market, Oakers Technologies,
your New England Honda dealers, Credit Unions, Kids at Heart, Town Fair Tire, Clinton Savings Bank, Bud Light,
McGovern Auto Group,
and by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Trips to the left, tangle by Lowen, unloads a deep ball down the left side for Hill. It's going to be intercepted. Leaping Gonzalez picks it off.
Also brought to you by your New England Ford dealers, Eastern Pro.